Bonjour class, let's get started with our French 1A Unit 3 test review. Okay, our first section, this will be brand new, this is dictation. What you'll have to do is write exactly what is said in French and do not write any English for this section. So what I'll do here for practice is I'll say the sentence in French and you can replay it as many times as you need and you write it down in Edpuzzle here. Okay, so number one, je vais aller au lycée. So number one looks like this. Je vais aller au lycée. Number two, nous sommes sympas. So number two looks like this. Nous sommes sympas. Number three, vous allez parler au téléphone. So number three looks like this. Vous allez parler au téléphone. Number four, ils vont regarder un film. So number four looks like this. Ils vont regarder un film. And number five, tu vas travailler après les cours. So number five looks like this. Tu vas travailler après les cours. So how this section works is you get a quarter point off for each spelling mistake. Right now, I will not be grading over any accent marks. So if you miss the accent marks, that's okay for now. But down the road, we'll be doing a little bit more with them. Okay? Part two will be some multiple choice. What you need to do is choose the best answer that completes the statement or answers the question. So, for example here, Pauline travaille 15 blank par semaine. Is it A, gum, B, feutre, C, feuille, or D, heure? If you said D, heure, you would be correct. Okay, part three will be matching. What you need to do is match each verb below with its logical completion. So, for example here, we have anglais, la maison, des crayons, and une question. And then we have habiter, parler, poser, and acheter. Alright, so if we look at habiter, that means to live. And so I would match up habiter with la maison because you live in a house. Next verb we have is parler, which means to speak. And so I would use that for a language, parler and anglais, which is English. Next, C, poser is to ask. So poser une question would make sense. And finally, acheter, which means to buy, with crayon, which are pencils. Vocabulary. What you need to do here is match the best definition for each vocabulary term. So, for example, un classeur, is it a folder, a three-ring binder, an eraser, or a calculator? If you said a three-ring binder, you would be correct. Next up, verbs. What you need to do here is complete each sentence with the correct conjugation of the verb that's in parentheses. So, for example, we have je n'aime pas blank le dimanche, and in parentheses we have travailler. So, for our responses, would it be A, travail, B, travailler, C, travail, or D, travaillons? Now, in our sentence here, when we look, we already have a conjugated verb, M. So because we have the conjugated verb already, we need to make sure that we pick the infinitive verb. And in this case, it's going to be travailler. So letter B. In our next example, we have et toi, tu blank français, n'est-ce pas? And we have parler. So when we look at our examples, we have A, parle, B, parlons, C, parler, or D, parle. Now, when we look at this one, our subject pronoun is tu. So we know that with ER verbs, we drop off the ER, And when it's to, we have to add an es. So our only option here is letter D. On to our next section. Part 6 is going to be indefinite articles. What you'll need to do here is complete each sentence with the appropriate indefinite article. Un, une, des, de, or d apostrophe. So, for example, elle n'achète pas blank cassette. Is it A, un, B, une, C, des, D, de, or E, d apostrophe? Now, when we look at our sentence, if you remember, since we have a negative sentence, we have our ne pas, we know that we have to either choose only de or d apostrophe because it's negative. And because cassette does not start with a vowel, our only option here is letter D, de. Now, in our next example, we have Angèle achète blank livre à la papeterie. Is it A, un, B, une, C, des, D, de, or E, the apostrophe? Now, here, notice, we do not have a negative sentence. There is no ne or no pas. So we're going to be buying a book. And so, livre is masculine, and so our only option here is letter A, un livre. Okay, on to our next section, part 7, vrai or faux. Here you need to indicate whether these statements are vrai or faux, true or false. So en France, les élèves quittent l'école à 2 heures. If you said faux here for this sentence, you would be correct. The reason being it's faux is because it says in France, students leave school at 2 o'clock. And we know that's not true. Part 8, conversation. You'll have a short conversation to read, and you'll need to answer the statements with true or false. So read closely. Part 9 is going to be the near future. What you'll need to do here is rewrite the following sentence in the near future. Let's follow the model here. So we have tu regardes la télé. Now, what you have to do here, since we need to rewrite the sentences in the near future, our verb, regard, we're going to have to change back into its infinitive. So this es is going to change to an er. And in front of regard, we need to conjugate ale. So here we're going to fit into va. So our sentence will look like this. Tu vas regarder la télé. Okay, let's do another example. Nous écoutons la radio. So once again, because this is a regular ER verb, écouter, we make it back its original form. So we drop off this ONS, we change it back to an ER, and right here, we're going to fit our verb aller, so we have to conjugate to go along with nous, which is allons. So our sentence will read, Nous allons écouter la radio. Okay, part 10 will be culture questions. Here's what our 10 questions are. Number 1, what year did Louisiana make French its official language? Number 2, what year was the Sorbonne founded? Number 3, what city has the Latin Quartier? Number 4, what is the largest French-speaking city? Number 5, what is the second largest French-speaking city? Number 6, what is the Place de la Cathédrale, and what city is it in? Number 7, name 2 reasons why most French teenagers do not have a job. Number 8, how do high school students in France get to school? Number 9, how long are school days for the French teens? And number 10, how many consonants speak French? Okay, part 11 is our verb conjugation section. What you'll need to do here is pick 5 verbs to conjugate. We have aller, avoir, être, parler, aimer, écouter, and habiter. After you conjugate those 5 of those, pick 2 of those verbs to conjugate into the near future. So you will conjugate a total of 7 verbs. 5 of them in the present tense, and then an additional 2 in the near future. Okay, so that's the end of our test review. If you have any questions, please don't be afraid to ask. Bonne chance.